The Galaxy S21 Ultra and Google Pixel 6 Pro, two top-of-the-line flagships from 2021 that offered cutting-edge technology, superior performance and unique features. But how much of this is still good in 2024 and which is the best buy? Let's find out. So the S21 Ultra and Google Pixel 6 Pro are both made of premium grade materials. Both share a Gorilla Glass Victus front and back with an aluminium frame, with the S21 Ultra being around 17 grams heavier. Both have nice rounded edges, making them both feel really nice in the hand. And the S21 Ultra has the famous camera module that blends into the frame of the phone, while the Pixel 6 Pro has a distinctive horizontal camera bar, which gives it a recognisable look. Now both phones actually look really great in their own unique way. I don't particularly have a preference. So aesthetically, it's just going to come down to your personal preference, which one you pick, whether you go for the S21 Ultra's more traditional look or Google's more unique aesthetic. And when it comes to the displays, this is where it gets juicy. They both share Quad HD, HDR10+, 120Hz AMOLED displays, with Samsung opting for their dynamic AMOLED 2X panel. They're also both adaptive displays with the ability to dial down to 10Hz to conserve power, and they are both stunning displays with great colour accuracy. The Samsung does get brighter outdoors, which could be the deciding factor for some. For me, the Pixel was bright enough, but the difference is definitely there. And the Samsung is a hair larger at 6.8 inches over the 6.7 inches of the Pixel. And there's also nice slim bezels around the display too, and both are slightly curved, a bit more so on the Pixel. So overall, they're both bright and immersive displays, ideal for watching videos and playing games. So your preference will typically come down to whether you want Samsung's brighter and slightly less curved display. And as for performance, the Samsung is powered by the Exynos 2100 or Snapdragon 888, depending on location, where the Google is powered by their first gen Tensor chip, ironically manufactured by Samsung. And at the time, both phones offered top-notch performance, with the Tensor chip benchmarking slightly lower than the other equivalent flagship chips, particularly Snapdragon chips. And this is still the case now, with the Tensor chips focusing more on AI-driven tasks than raw power. However, both the Tensor chip and Exynos 2100 benchmark almost identical for those that care about the numbers, but overall performance on both phones has been absolutely flawless. Everyday use is a breeze with no stutters or slowdowns. Of course, you'll get better performance from newer processors, but performance today will still outperform a lot of newer mid-range phones, so no issues here. And software is up to date on both phones. They're both running Android 14, with Samsung using One UI version 6.1 on top, with Google, of course, having their own stock Android experience. And Samsung's One UI continues to be one of my favourite software experiences, with nice punchy icons, an easy to navigate settings menu, and plenty of the usual customization options. While Google offers their usual stock Android experience with their own take on Android, the same level of customization is available. Material U caters to everyone in terms with its ability to change the overall color palette of your fonts and quick access icons to match your wallpaper, and all the smart features like live caption and live transcribe are all here. And of course, Samsung is implementing these features with Galaxy AI and filtering some, not all, down to their older models. And all this performance and software features are further enhanced by the 12 gigs of RAM on both devices, offering ideal multitasking to heavy users. And while 128 gigs of base storage may not be enough for some, the option of up to 512 gigs on both might be a better option, as there's no support for micro SD expansion on either phone. So I think your choice of phone when it comes to the software will generally just be your preference of using Samsung's One UI or Google's stock Android experience. Of course, Google offers an extra year of security updates, so that will definitely be a consideration for some when making your choice. And now down to arguably the most debated topic when it comes to comparing flagship phones, and that is the cameras, and it's not all about the numbers. The S21 Ultra features a versatile quad camera setup, including a 108 megapixel primary sensor, 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, and two 10 megapixel telephoto sensors with a 3x and 10x optical zoom. This of course allows for impressive zoom capabilities and detailed shots in various lighting conditions. The front-facing camera is a 40 megapixel sensor capable of capturing high-quality selfies and video calls. And the Pixel 6 Pro has a slightly different setup, a triple camera system including a 50 megapixel primary sensor, 12 megapixel ultra-wide and 48 megapixel telephoto sensor with a 4x optical zoom. Google's strength lies in its computational photography, which is why playing the numbers game doesn't always work. The Pixel 6 Pro leverages its AI capabilities to improve dynamic range and low light performance. The front-facing camera is an 11.1 megapixel sensor, offering good quality for selfies and video calls. And as for photo quality, both phones excel in photography, with Samsung delivering their usual bright photos with the typical Samsung look, while the Pixel typically offers more contrasty looking photos in a lot of scenarios. And I'm not adverse to both, and in certain scenarios you can definitely appreciate both results. And Samsung naturally offers more detailed zoom shots at 10x thanks to that secondary telephoto shooter, but Google isn't miles behind thanks to Google's enhanced processing. Ultra-wide shots are great too, even though they're lower resolution, and video can be shot at up to 4K 60 on the Pixel, while Samsung switches it up to maximum of 8K at 24 FPS video. But as always, here are some more photo and video samples from these two really great devices. Be sure to let me know down in the comments what you think of these photos. And as for the battery, you get a large 5000 mAh battery on both devices. Well, the Pixel with 5003 mAh if you want to get specific. And both phones offer solid all-day battery life with moderate use. Heavy gamers and camera users will notice endurance drop pretty quick, but light users will definitely be fine for a day. Now this is my second Pixel 6 Pro, the original one that I reviewed back in New York earlier in the year. And battery life on that particular model wasn't great. It did get me through a full day, but endurance was a bit questionable. But this one is absolutely solid. I don't know whether it's had a battery replacement or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of which would explain why the battery life is so good. But the battery life on this one has been absolutely awesome. And charging speeds are similar, not groundbreaking on either. 25 watts on the Galaxy, 30 watts on the Pixel, both slated to get you around 50% in 30 minutes. And they both have support for wireless charging and reverse wireless charging should you use those features. The Pixel offering faster 23 watt wireless charging over the 15 watts on the Galaxy, although the Pixel speed is only available from their proprietary charging stand. And both phones offer adaptive charging features to prolong battery health, and the phones will learn your usage patterns to optimize power consumption. So both phones offer impressive battery life, the Pixel having the slight edge over the Galaxy in its wired charging speed, but overall, they're both pretty good, and of course the battery life on this Pixel 6 Pro definitely edged out this S21 Ultra, but both will get you through a full day, no problem. And then just a few more features that didn't make it into the rest of this video. The S21 Ultra has S Pen support for those productivity-minded users and support with Samsung DeX. Then you get a full IP68 rating on both devices, and then Google's integration with Google services might sway you towards the Pixel. So what's my verdict? Well, this is actually really difficult for me, as the S21 Ultra has always been one of my favorite phones I've ever used. The display, the fluidity of One UI, and just the overall experience of the phone still holds up so well in 2024. But there's just something about going back to a Pixel that I really love. The camera is absolutely awesome. I love using the stock Android experience, and that improved battery life on this model of 6 Pro over the S21 Ultra kind of sways me more towards this Pixel 6 Pro. And yes, while you do still get some thermal issues from that first gen Tensor chip, I definitely found it when I was in New York. That's not really a deterrent for me. And the used market value of both of these phones is great too. The S21 Ultra I picked up for 220 quid, but this Pixel 6 Pro cost me just 160 quid off eBay. And for what I'm getting, the condition of it, the battery life, the camera, display, all of that, it's an absolute steal. So overall, I think the everyday use of both of these phones is absolutely great. I don't think anybody would be disappointed with either phone if they pick one up today. And your deciding factor could just be as simple as using One UI over stock Android.